go into morning, in the time before the light. In flames of death, eternal rain, we ride towards the fight. When the darkness is falling down, and the time's up for rise, the sound of evil laughter falls around the world tonight. Fighting high, fighting on for steel, through the wastelands evermore. The skeleton souls will feel the hell bodies wasted on the shore. On the blackest waves in hell's domain, we watch the lives they go. You find the pain, now once again we know. So now we fly, yeah, we're free to fall from the storm. On towards the wilderness, we're scaring storm. Far beyond the sundown, far beyond the moonlight, deep inside our hearts and all our souls. So far away, we wait for the day, yeah. For the lights all so wasted and gone. We feel the pain of a lifetime lost in 1,000 days. Through the fire and the flames we carry on. It's a red day starting, and the lightning cracks the sky. They raise their hands to the heavens above, with resentment in their eyes. Running back through the mid-morning light, there's a burning in my heart. We're vanished from the time in the fallen land to a life beyond the stars. In your darkest dreams, see to the need of destiny this time. And then the sea will all be free tonight. And on the wings of a dream, so far beyond reality. All alone in desperation, now the time has gone. Lost inside, you'll never find. Lost within my own mind. Day after day, this misery must go on. So far away, we wait for the day, yeah. For the lights all so wasted and gone. We feel the pain of a lifetime lost in 1,000 days. Through the fire and the flames we carry on.
Oh, yes. I only mute you on the breaks because you. Welcome to Spectrum. My name's Chris. That's Emiliano. He's 12.
Ugh.
You are 12.
You're 12.
Whatever.
He's actually 9.
I'm 9. I saw Justice League, so we could talk about
Justice League was froggy fresh.
Oh, yeah, it was. I really like Justice League.
It was really cool.
Wait,
can you hear my munching?
Yes. So, I think what I liked most about it. No spoilers, by the way. No spoilers.
Yeah, no spoilers. Everyone dies. No, that's not what happens. You know, one time I said that like about Game of Thrones.
But granted, Game of Thrones is a show where it's very likely everyone will die at the end.
And I said that, and then my friend came back to like the next day, and she was like really pissed, and I was like, "Why?" And she was like, "Everyone did die," and I was like, "Do you know the Red Wedding thing?"
Of course.
Yeah. So
yeah.
I was like, what?
All right. Anyway,
but
yeah, it was a good movie. I'm confused as to why Justice League is getting not good reviews, but yet Thor Ragnarok saying like great reviews.
Getting so much shade on the internet,
and yet Thor Ragnarok is getting all this praise, but yet they're basically the same movie. I
was super not excited about Thor Ragnarok. I'll be honest.
Well, they have the same strengths. They're both funny. They're both really fun. The characters are really the actors are doing well. The characters don't develop much, but they're both fun movies.
I don't know. I like
and they have and they have very loose structures.
Yeah. A lot of people were saying that like some of the characters were weak. Like some people were saying that Cyborg was the weakest character.
That's weird. Cyborg has the most depth of all the characters.
He was one of the most deep characters along probably with Flash. Like they were the coolest characters.
Yeah,
that were really.
If any, I think there needed to be more time because like some of the relationships need to be developed. Like,
well, this is the thing. This is what I'll always bring up is that I kind of don't like that DC did is that. You know, I know everyone's like, oh, but they have a different way of doing it. They don't want to follow Marvel. It's not that they're following Marvel. It's just general storytelling technique. You know, you introduce your characters first before you throw them in a dilemma.
But
Yeah.
but I don't think they needed like a whole movie because like Guardians didn't have like a whole movie before they did their team. It's
Guardians is specifically about a team of people. You know, Justice League is about a team of people, yes, but
they do have
who already have their own backstories.
the Guardians have backstories.
They do, but they were able to
Some of them
introduce it
actually-
into the movie.
Yeah, and you could do that with you could have done it with the Justice League.
And Guardians of the Galaxy, I love. Like,
Yeah.
really, the first
And
one
you-
is one of my favorite Marvel films ever.
You could theoretically do that with the Justice League too.
You
It'll be
could, but I feel
hard.
like no matter what, people are going to want more because I think they did a good job with all the characters. Like, I
Yeah.
honestly think that each character held their own on the
Especially when you consider like half the team didn't have a solo movie to introduce themselves.
Exactly. So that's something that I was keeping in mind too. But people are inevitably, like you just said, are they're going to ask for more because they weren't given more.
Well, also
You know?
because this, besides Wonder Woman, I think the general audience has not been satisfied with previous DC entries.
Yeah. Wonder Woman
Aside
had a
from
really
Wonder
good
Woman,
entry.
pretty much, yeah. But other than Wonder Woman, everyone's been sort of hankering for like an actual introduction to like these characters, you know?
Yeah.
Or at least I feel like the real problem is that DC could have done the way they wanted they give structure cinematic universe the way they did with Man of Steel, Batman vs Superman, Suicide Squad, and Wonder Woman. If the movies were good, no one would even be questioning DC structure. But the movies weren't good for the most part, with the exception of Wonder Woman and arguably Man of Steel. That's about it.
Man of Steel is a great movie.
Yeah, I love that movie.
You know,
To me, that's
people
still my.
criticize it so much, but
Yeah.
Man of Steel is a good movie. I'm
And I actually read this really interesting report on The Wrap about the sort of behind the scenes goings on of making Justice League. For one thing, Joss Whedon wanted more time because the thing about it is Zack Snyder was the original director of Justice League.
Yeah.
And he finished the movie, but they were going to do reshoots. But you know, there's the process of post-production of these movies is so immense.
Yeah.
He couldn't finish it because his daughter had committed suicide.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
And Joss Whedon had to step in. And Joss Whedon said, I need more months because apparently Snyder's version of the movie just wasn't presentable. But
I believe that.
yeah, but WB, specifically the CEO of WB, he had a bonus coming in. And if Justice League was delayed, he wouldn't have gotten his bonus on time.
Mm.
And that's why he said we have to put in Justice League on November, which on the surface seems wrong. But when you consider also the fact that in December, you can't put in December because Star Wars.
Yeah.
You can't put in January still because Star Wars. You could probably do February, maybe February.
Who watches movies in February? I'm kidding.
50
Who
Shades
watches movies in February.
Well, 50 Shades of Grey does business in February.
I know.
Like-
it's Valentine's Day,
Yeah.
President's Day.
That'd have been an interesting Valentine's movie. Justice League on Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
It'd be like the opposite of 50 Shades of Grey, where like, you know, the joke is like all girls drag the boyfriend to see it.
Yeah.
Fucking all the boyfriends would be dragging their girlfriends to see Justice League.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was good. I really
liked
enjoyed
it.
the movie.
Yeah. Are you looking forward to like future DC movies?
Definitely. The only problem I had, I had some nitpicks about Justice League, but one
Yeah.
of the problems I had was how little. Wait, was it kind of a spoiler to say that a character was in it that wasn't shown in the trailer?
Well, people know Superman's dead. Everyone knows Superman's dead, and everyone knows he's going to come
Yeah,
back
but I
in
was
Justice
going to
League.
talk about a different character, not Superman. They weren't shown in it, but their sect of characters was referenced. Do you know
Wait.
what I'm talking about?
Are you talking about the green dude?
Yeah, green dude. Yeah, so there was a green dude in the movie. I'm not gonna say who.
Yeah.
There's a lot of green dudes.
It didn't
You don't
make
know what that means.
Yeah, there's a few green dudes,
There's a lot of green dudes.
but it didn't make sense that green dude. Why was that?
that
why
green
would
dude
that green dude
lasted
was?
for a very small amount of time.
But he was in the
past.
past, and he wasn't in the present,
Oh, he wasn't in the present. He was in the past.
which is weird. I mean, granted, the job of the green dude is a huge job that encompasses a
yeah,
huge.
it's really old, so it's been before
He-
human civilization.
yeah, but also maybe the green dude was distracted. Maybe I don't know.
Distracted.
Like
I
there's
guess.
bigger things. Like
This is unexpected. He was like, "Oh, I'll just use my green dude powers and hit people." Oh,
I
wait,
mean-
someone's gonna stab me. Damn, he stabbed me. I'm dead.
yeah, I mean
Get him.
he's probably right now. At the time they were dealing with the.
Well, his green artifact that sits on his green finger flew away.
now you're getting too specific. God damn it!
Yeah,
You're getting too specific.
obviously he was dead.
Oh my god!
But
Did you see the Infinity War trailer? That's the real
I
question.
did see the Infinity War.
I have
trailer.
that. I love that
I
trailer.
really liked it. I was
That's-
actually really hyped.
10 years.
Unlike what I was for Thor Ragnarok, I was kind of bored with Thor Ragnarok.
Did you see it?
Honestly, I didn't see it. No.
Yeah.
It
But-
just reminded me too much of the Guardians of the Galaxy, and I
Yeah,
don't like
good
movies
point.
following the same formula.
Yeah, but it looks so good.
Infinity War looked so good. Oh my
Thanos?
god, that Spider-Man outfit.
I don't know how I feel about
Ugh,
this.
my nipples got so pointy when I saw that. Okay. No.
My nipples got pointy when I saw Thanos because those visual.
Why was he so pink though? He
'Cause
looked like
he's-
angry bubblegum.
He is angry bubble. That's what he. You know. I just realized
Yeah.
we have a friend who looks a little bit like Thanos.
Do we? Are you talking about?
Imagine him with like a shaved head.
Oh my!
If he shaved his head.
Make his chin like all wrinkly and angry. I guess yeah. You're kind of right.
This friend probably doesn't know that we're talking about him.
He has no clue. Yeah, if he's listening, he probably will. Very intelligent guy. Knows a lot about sandwiches.
Gil thinks we're talking about him.
We are talking about you, Gil.
But yeah, the VFX are good. 10 years of storytelling leading up to this. Dude.
Yeah, no, it's so great. I don't know. This
I heard one cool theory that the Hulk. Wait,
Isn't there 2 movies that they're gonna make for this?
yeah, basically.
Awesome.
Well, did you? So you're someone who didn't see Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah.
How did you feel about the end of the? How did you feel about I don't know if I should say. I mean,
Just tell me. It's whatever.
you know how Thor had an eye patch?
Yeah.
He lost his eye. He loses his eye in Thor Ragnarok.
I assumed as much.
Yeah. and-
Also, he has the hammer again.
no, he doesn't.
Oh, you didn't have the hammer again?
No, he's not gonna.
I thought I saw a poster somewhere.
There was Vanity Fair, but it was more of a 10. It was more celebrating the Marvel universe like as a whole. It wasn't
Oh,
like
he
promoting
didn't
the
have
actual.
hammer back?
He's not going to get his hammer back.
Oh
Actually.
yeah, I saw that he had an eye patch. This is pretty cool. It's kind of like following in the father's footsteps. Like
Basically, yeah,
I lost an eye.
yeah. That's the only spoiler I'll give for
I
Thor
used to be an
Ragnarok.
adventurer like you until I lost one eye. Took an arrow in my eye.
Took an arrow to the eye.
Yeah.
I mean, he took a spear.
He took a spear. Did he take a spear? Was it like Hela spear or something?
I'm not going to say.
Was it Hulk spear?
Why would Hulk bust
I
out
remember
Thor's
Hulk had
eye?
armor in the trailer.
But why would the fight get? You think the fight would get so intense that? Well, actually, now I'm spoiling it for people. Yeah.
I don't know. Well, yeah, I guess they're friends.
I mean, there's a few people.
Hulk looked pretty pissed off though. He was like,
Hulk's-
"You ate my French fries." You know, he
Hulk
looked really
looks
upset.
always pissed. He's
Yeah,
always
he
pissed.
does. I mean, he's angry. He's just
Yeah.
an angry man.
I recommend if you like Justice League, you're gonna like Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah, I should watch it then.
Yeah, you don't have to pay for it in theaters. It's not that. It's not
Isn't
worth
Doctor Strange in Thor Ragnarok?
for like a second. It's not worth anything to get hype about unless you're like a huge Doctor Strange fan, which there are like 2 of you
I'm
out
not.
there.
I knew about him beforehand, but I wasn't like a huge fan.
Yeah, but yeah, good day in entertainment news.
Yeah. I'm
Let's
excited for
let's
that
talk.
Spider-Man outfit.
Yeah, let's talk about something. So this is something you're gonna either like or hate. I'm just gonna like, about transracialism.
Oh God, yes, I know about transracialism.
So I found this transracial model from Germany.
Jeez,
You're gonna want
how is that a thing?
You're gonna want to come around first before we dive in. You're gonna want to come around just to see this woman because she looks like a cartoon character. Can you see it from there?
I'm looking. I'll turn the mic. Beep beep beep. We're turning.
All right.
You described yourself back
Oh,
then as
gosh.
a beautiful
Oh, sorry,
girl.
yo.
So if
I've seen
if you
her
were a beautiful
before.
girl,
This
why
woman
do
is
this?
crazy. How?
Yeah, I like my body from the beginning and to now every step. But like the boys, like their brand new car, they
You guys
love
can't
to
I can't.
work on it. And if they see, wow, nice results, let's find this piece and this piece. And so tuning is a little bit more than expected.
upper chest region too, man.
Yeah, this lady has. There was a whole thing before. She has.
Okay, you guys can't see.
You guys can't see, but it basically looks like a white woman in blackface with huge tits.
It doesn't
Shirt.
look like it is. That's basically
No. Here's the thing, though. She got injections to get her face like that.
like injected melanin. Or something?
Yes, they injected things into her. Let's keep going in the clip. Actually,
There's
It's a work in
been
progress.
a lot of work going on, a lot of body work going on, that's for sure. 24
Like,
I think that was
procedures.
before the blackness.
Really?
No, wait. Well, let's keep going.
Aside from the obvious, what have you had done?
I've had to draw a lot of bodies.
Also, when we last met, I was much smaller. Also, actually, I have 7,100 cc each. But not only my
Another
skin
one?
color changed.
No,
Also,
same person.
meanwhile, also I've realized that my eye color has changed, my eyebrow color has changed, and also my regrowing hairs are more black and more darker and going curly.
So we should explain this a little bit further
Really
because
here, right?
this
She's talking about the effects of the injection she's taking. They're changing her eye color. They're making her hair curly.
this change, Martina, has come around because of these tanning injections, and it was
If you go only in the sun.
I'm not.
But for me, this new medicine works especially good.
Does she
Also, I have to
technically like in a census? Like if Germany were, if the town she's living in or city,
She would register as black. Yes,
really?
she would. She wants to. That's how she identifies. Just as a trans woman would register as a woman.
Identify. It's not like. Oh, this. I don't know. I feel like there's so many problems with that. Well, how do you identify as a black person?
I don't know.
You know?
I guess
You don't have that culture in you.
no one has the culture in them.
I guess you don't have the culture. Yeah, nobody really has the culture in them, I guess. But you don't. A lot of people would argue that living as a black person is very different, and it is true. As living as a white person.
Well, yeah.
The living standard is extremely different, and
Well, her living standard is not going to go down because
it's not going to go down. But you just don't have that kind of that foresight. Also, like, why? Or like, what makes her think that she feel? How do you feel as a person of another race? How do you feel that you are of another one? Like, how am I going to say? I'm feeling Japanese.
I don't know.
Look, one reason that all the weeaboos are going to think that they can, change into Japanese. They can become Japanese.
Oh, but that process would be so much different and more destructive.
Oh gosh.
Let's keep going. Let's see what she has to hear. What she has to say.
I didn't.
Which you can't hear.
I'm not in support of weeaboos.
Wait, you want to hear?
Oh yeah, I'll listen.
All right.
I'm kidding. I support weeaboos.
You support weeaboos?
Nah. I mean,
all right.
I don't know. I'll stop talking.
Your eye color would change?
Yeah, also when in the constellation they said it will tan the skin more than if you go only in the sun. But for me, this new medicine works especially good. Also I have to say I didn't inject myself. The doctor did it. Also there were 3 injections in January and nothing else, only a little bit sun. And now I'm really dark.
So what?
She's so happy to be dark.
I'm really dark. Oh my god.
Dark like the eclipse.
This has happened after 3 injections.
Oh, this is funny.
Yeah, in middle of January.
Wow.
Wow.
And the injections, am I right? They're £170 a time, so they're not cheap to have. But
Pounds meaning
European currency.
Just in case there are people who don't know, because there are people who don't know.
Really? Oh.
Yeah. Not saying you don't know, Mira.
they're also unregulated, so nobody really. It's not gone.
Pounds is specifically the UK. Yes.
Yeah.
Nobody knows how safe they are.
Pounds instead of euros.
She probably got the surgery there, or maybe they're just postcode. They did the calculations beforehand as like market risk research before they got around.
Oh, I think is what I'm trying. Do you worry about your safety taking these injections?
No. Also, we had a long consultation in January, and it seemed to be safe. And as I have in the all time, I have no side effects. Only
now you're being mean to the transracial people.
In whole body.
I've got to.
Well, let's discuss. I have actually watched this video beforehand, and she says that she will also get butt implants.
Oh my gosh! See, that's where it's just getting kind of like, I don't know.
Yeah,
it feels racist. I don't know what it is.
Oh, I keep burping into the mic. Jesus,
Stop burping.
I'm trying not to.
Mira said something about it. Like, why burp?
Why burp? Would you prefer fart?
Oh, don't do that. If you do, it's got to be like a pop noise, just like.
But
That
yeah,
happened to me one time.
don't you think? But do you think this is a product of? Some people say this is a product of transgenderism, or in some way that once you open the door that gender is a social construct, you've then opened the door that race might also be a social construction.
Okay, this is a complicated topic. Give me a second to think.
I mean, that's why I brought it up.
Yeah, make people think, guys. All right, they're very different things. I consider them to be very different. Though, if you race, this is the thing, is that race is technically a bit of a social construct.
Right.
They're really, I know it sounds really hippy-dippy and, peace and love, kumbaya or whatever, but there is technically really only one race,
Yeah, basically all skin color is really just
really essentially, if you want to think
it's just
about
variations.
Exactly.
It's sort of like the difference between a blue an iguana that has a blue spot or an iguana that has a red spot. They're still the same
It
species.
sounds kind of bad. I mean, I guess
We're all
that's
the
a better way of thinking about it.
Yeah, we're all
I was going to bring up like breeds, like breeds of dog.
Yeah, breeds of dogs.
Essentially,
They're all the
thing.
same species. They're all part of the same. Yeah, they're all part of the same species. When
Exactly.
we're all Homo sapiens.
Exactly. What would define different races is we were incapable of reproducing with
yeah.
one another.
And actually,
we can. So
species and race were actually. There's a reason that you make the analogy because species and race were actually used They actually use interchangeable words when you're talking about different species and different races. Like the actual title of origin of the species actually. Origin of the species, and I think other races.
So that makes me think. What's the origin of the word race used? Is that specifically a Western construct?
I don't think race is a Western.
Is it a Western idea?
I don't think so.
I
think
of
the
where
idea.
else it would be used.
I think the idea of unless
That's something we could probably look up, but
yeah.
I'm assuming that that's probably something that was used to differentiate "quote unquote" lesser races.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah. I think
make
it
the
was. Yeah, I
differentiation
think
between
if I
white
remember
classes.
correctly, it was originally used in to describe animals, not humans.
So yeah,
but
but think about how that could be used by white imperialists. I guess. Yeah.
think about how it's used by white nationalists today.
Exactly. Yeah.
Let's look.
But back to the original topic. So race technically is a social construct, but the connotation that race is used is not a social construct. I feel like it's more. I mean, politics is kind of social, but I don't know. This is hard. It's hard to think about. Social problems, racial problems are not really social construct. They're kind of just humanist problems. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? And that sounds weird because humanity is really
but you don't.
based on how people socialize.
Yeah, but you don't have to. Do you really have to? The social problems that I don't know. I don't know if the social problems that come with race are inherent to your race. Does that make sense?
I think I know what you mean. They're imposed by society.
Like just because you're black doesn't mean you've been stopped by the police. It's a high likelihood, but it doesn't mean it's happened. It doesn't mean I don't know.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying. Like, I mean, say you take a country that like Nigeria, for example, right,
Yeah.
that's doing well. Despite what people say, it's a country that is doing well.
Yeah.
They have black higher society.
Yeah.
In Nigeria. So the scenarios are different there than you would say Compton here,
Yeah.
or Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn.
But what do you think it is that separates, that makes the ability to transition from one gender to another different than the ability to transition from one race to another?
It's a good question, I don't know. I mean, it's just it feels wrong. And this is the thing, is that I have an American perspective,
Right.
being that I've only lived in America,
Right.
specifically in New York
Right.
and LA for 5 years. But it just seems wrong to me because, I mean, race on a certain extent is linked to culture,
Right.
to a certain level. Biologically, it's not, you know?
Right.
But in terms of how culture is built, it revolves around a race, Like when you take Mexican culture, for example, Mexican culture is heavily dependent on what was known as the mestizo, right? Which
Yeah.
is the mix of the Spanish conquistador with the natives of Mexico.
Yeah.
Right. That plays a heavy role in Mexican culture. You take away that historical context from Mexican culture, you lose a big part of that culture.
Right.
So that's why I feel race is directly linked to culture. You can't change your culture, If you're born into, say you're born Chinese, American Chinese, right? And, Chinatown, you can't suddenly decide you want to be an Aboriginal from Australia.
I mean, if you're a Chinese person and you like Chinese music, I can't hear myself.
Well, you can not like it.
wait.
Technical difficulties. We'll fix this for a second. This allows me to eat my Cheez-Its.
No, technical there it is.
Oh, you're back?
I think I'm back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just keep going.
Yeah, you just keep chewing. Just chew away from the mic. But if a Chinese person doesn't like Chinese music, they don't like Chinese clothing,
Mhm.
and they're attracted to another culture, Don't you think that? And they like, let's say they like, I don't know, German music, they like opera, or they like rap, because this actually is relevant. There's a lot of Chinese people who like rap a lot.
Yeah, no, that's totally fine. You can be attracted to another culture. I mean, for a long time, I was really into. I mean, I like Japanese stuff, for example, but I was really into like Egyptian culture, even though it's like ancient. I really was like into Egypt. As a kid, I used to get all these books, these history books about art, Egyptian art.
Yeah.
I really like Japanese culture. I think it's great. Something that I'd
when do you think it crosses the line? But when do you think it crosses the line, though? Like, can that, like, if someone's like, can a Korean person be like, my culture is black? I don't know.
No, I don't think so. I mean, if you're Korean, you're Korean, But
you're Korean. You have Korean genetics.
I feel like I don't have enough information on this because I've never met someone who's been in this scenario that they don't like their own culture and want to be another culture. All right, so you can be raised. See, this is the thing. You can be Korean by blood, and say you were born in a predominantly African American neighborhood, or I'll just say black neighborhood for the sake of including all of that.
Right.
You could be a Korean born in Africa. You could be a Korean born in Jamaica or Trinidad, and you are connected to that culture essentially because you've lived through it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Well, you've
grown up in it. So
let's try this experiment, because I think I understand the seed of that because I'm raised in a Caribbean culture, and I don't listen to. See, that's what I am. I don't know the genre of the music we listen to. We don't listen to reggae. There's another word for it that I'm forgetting, but I don't listen to Caribbean music a lot. Soca. We have soca music. I know I like one soca song, basically.
Yeah.
I don't listen to rap. I have a few rap songs on my playlist. Very few. I like very few rap songs.
Yeah.
The best rap song ever is "Man's Not Hot" by Big Shaq. Yes, it is. It's the best rap song ever.
Gosh, but see, no, but back to the original thing. That's fine. You don't.
But when do you think? When does it cross the line? Like when have I crossed the line? Like, let's say I like rock music, which is predominantly white. I like classical music, which is predominantly white. When do I cross the line into like? Is it when I say that I am a part of white culture? When I say like I am white, basically, like inside of me, I'm white. Is that when I cross the line?
I think that's where the line crosses, because that's and that is actually a big problem now. You take like Lil' Kim, for example, that whole she basically wanted to become a Barbie doll,
Right.
A lot of people say that's self-hatred, or anti-blackness.
Right.
Which I don't know Lil' Kim personally, so I don't know what her outlook on it is, but that there is truth to that. But I think that's where it crosses the line, where you try to identify, I mean, you're obviously not white. If you try to identify with being white, then that's just denial of oneself, I think, and trying to say that you're something else. I don't know. That seems it just seems weird to me. You can like another culture, like take like Native American culture, for example. People can feel connected to, I guess, and like Native American culture.
You could
say you're Native American.
You could be a part of the religion. I don't know if there's a Native American religion.
There are, yeah. You could believe in, you could have, Native beliefs and follow their belief systems, but
you can't say you are Native American.
You can't say you're Native American.
You could say I'm like whatever. I follow.
You could be accepted into a tribe or something.
You can say you can be a part of the tribe, because that's different. A tribe, you choose to be part of the tribe.
You yourself cannot say that you're Native American.
Yeah, those factors are choices. The tribe you follow, the music you listen to.
Say your parents are German immigrants, and then for some reason your kid is born into a Native American tribe.
Yeah,
you're a part of that culture then, I think, because you grew up there. You're with them.
Yeah.
You can't. Unfortunately, I feel like you just can't say you're Native. That child can't say they're Native American because they're just not linked to that bloodline.
They can say they were raised by Native Americans.
Yeah, exactly.
They can say they. I think that child actually has
like being raised by wolves.
That child I think has reason to say they are part of Native American culture at that point.
They can say they're part of the culture, but not a part of the racial. Not
if they have
be transracial Native American.
If you understand the culture, I think that's that's at some point when you could say you're part of it.
Exactly.
But also, if there's a question of if you produce stuff that contribute to that culture too.
Exactly. Yeah. That I feel like is okay, but that's not transracial.
Yeah.
At all. That's Transracial is just a whole new level of something weird, man.
Have you
Something
seen?
else.
Have you seen what Sammy Sosa looks like these days?
I have seen what Sammy Sosa looks like, and a lot of people say there is a heavy anti-black culture, unfortunately, in the Dominican Republic too.
Yeah.
You know, there's a great antagonistic.
Yeah, that's the weird thing about the Hispanic community. A lot of people don't appreciate. Like, there are so many Hispanics who pass for white, and there are so many who could pass for black.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's this weird spectrum. Like, I don't know of any other race that has this spectrum of skin tones.
This is the thing, is that it's not a race. It's such a difficult, and Hispanic technically is not the right term.
Right.
You know, it's
I know
Latin
Hispanic
American.
and Latino are two different things entirely.
It's totally different. And this is the thing, is that, and in case you guys don't know, Hispanic was a term coined by the Nixon administration to give a definition to everyone who originated from a Spanish-speaking country. So that includes Spain, believe it or not. According to the Nixon administration, people from Spain are Hispanic. You know, wild. So yeah, Hispanic is not the correct term. I would use Latin American for that. But see, Latin, being a Latino is such a, it's honestly, even then some people I don't take offense to it being a Latino, but some people take offense to it because it does kind of generalize and put, you know, a whole continent and a half into this category of being
Right.
Latin American, you know? But like you say, there's such a spectrum in Latin America of different races, you know,
Yeah.
quote unquote races, because there's white Latinos that, and my mom being raised in a Latino community, she passes for white.
Yeah.
And she used to say that, you know, she would hate when people would make a difference between her sister, my aunt,
Mhm.
and her. People would say to her, "Oh, you've got the good genes," you know,
Yeah.
because my aunt looks specifically more indigenous.
Right.
She does have a lighter skin tone still, but she looks more indigenous. My mother does not.
Yeah.
You know, and my mom used to hate that because it's her sister. You know,
Yeah.
she used to hate that people would make that differentiation. So there is still, you know, engraved in Latino society a white superiority.
Right.
You know, which is bad. It really should be worked
Yeah.
on. But
And I mean, but the question I still am struggling with. I'm not someone who's against transgender people. I'm not against. Yeah, but do you think that a part of the reason why we're able to sort of talk so, I don't know. I'm still struggling with. I still feel like on some level, I don't know how much. Of course, it wasn't advertent. Like, trans people were just like, trans people when the transgender community started, they weren't like, I want white people to have the freedom to become black people. That wasn't what they intended.
no, that
but
wasn't their. No.
but
It's they're not the same thing. I think if you're, are you asking that?
I'm asking-
transracial has
I'm
become a
asking-
thing because
I'm asking if we can why are we able to choose our genders and it be seen as bigoted to question whether or not that transition is a valid one.
Yeah.
But yet we could have, for just me asking this question could be
Well,
controversial.
first and foremost, yeah, of what I was going to say is that many would say, and it's true, that you don't choose your gender, you know, that
Yeah.
you are what you are.
Yeah, many would say that. And I just don't.
I mean, this is the thing, that gender is a social construct, and it's actually, there's science to back it, ironically enough. But again, going back to that, you know, many say you don't choose your gender, and there's truth to that
Yeah.
on many levels. You know, you don't really choose. Some people who are ambiguous, I think, kind of make the choice. You know,
Right.
if you're sexually ambiguous, maybe you don't know yet, you're still trying to figure that out.
Yeah.
Then you make the choice. But
I mean, I don't necessarily believe strongly that transgenderism led to transracialism.
no, I think.
But
I
once
think
you get
she's trying to use that as a platform,
Yeah,
as an excuse
but also-
to say that she's a black woman.
But once you get into the idea that gender is a social construct, I feel like the can of worms is open as to what else is a social construct. You know, what is, like, if your race, because there actually are, like, people think race is purely a social construction in the same way that gender is, but yet those same people would denounce transracialism.
And I guess I'm kind of one of those people now, huh?
I mean, you
mean-
said that gender? Did you say race was a totally social
Well,
construction?
That's the thing. I said technically it is, because, you know, it is. It's only been made through social social constructs.
Yeah.
The idea that race differentiates people when really, as I was saying before, it sounds kind of hippy dippy, but there is no such thing as more than one.
I mean, there
than
might
one
be in the
race
future.
humanity, maybe in I don't know, in the future.
I mean, I think I like.
with thousands of years of evolution.
Yeah.
That suddenly people living in, I don't know, I keep bringing up Australia, but suddenly people living in Australia can't reproduce with people living in Europe.
Yeah.
That's when there's different races.
Yeah.
So race on a historical level is a social construct, but in a present day level, it's got a lot more political weight to it because of the problems that are within racial communities. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's why I feel like transracial it's a thing, but I feel like it shouldn't be, because it
Right.
feels awfully, there's almost like I can't explain it, but I feel like there's a self-righteousness that comes to saying you're transracially white or transracially
Yeah.
black. It'll either be seen as self-hatred for someone like Sammy Sosa,
Yeah.
or
Well, I don't know what this.
trying to claim.
I don't know what this lady. Her actual name is Martina Big. I don't know what her deal.
I don't know what her deal is. I feel some people, many would say that what she's doing is,
Excuse me.
appropriating black culture, saying that it's her own.
I don't think she's even appropriating the culture. She's just.
She just wants to be black. She just wants to be a black.
Yeah, because she's not dressing in any way that's
If
like.
you guys
more-
want to see what's her name? If you guys want to see what she looks like,
Martina
see-
Big. Google it. She has an interview with a show called This
Say it
Morning.
again, I didn't hear.
Martina Big,
Martina Big.
because
B-I-G. Big.
yeah, Big, literally.
And see what's up with that name. What's up with that name? What does that have anything to do? God, see, there's just so much wrong with it, man. I don't know. It's just not the same as.
Also, it's
transgender.
the tits.
yeah.
What?
It's just not the same.
And she wants butt implants. I think that's also a thing. She wants butt implants.
I feel like that's kind of racist on a level. You
Yeah.
know, it is.
She wants why? Why does she think that's going to make her more black?
Martina Big, just oh god.
Oh, God.
I don't see it, man.
Yeah.
It's just not the same as being transgender.
Yeah.
It's just not the same.
You know what?
If you change your name, if you want to change your name as a transgender, you don't say, "Oh, mine." If
You know who I also make fun of though?
what?
There's this weird. I don't make fun of trans people. I don't make fun of people who are non-binary.
Yeah.
I do make fun of people who just make up new genders. Like there are people who are called trigenders who believe there's a third gender and that they are somehow a third. No, they think there's third gender people who think they are a separate gender than men and women, which is just non-binary to me. And there's also trigender people who think they're three genders put together.
Wait, what?
Yeah, that's a thing.
This feels like math class. I don't. Wait.
So like, yeah,
Again, I feel like technically there's infinite. Not infinite. I don't know.
I don't think there's infinite
There's as
genders.
much genders as people will make. That's why it's a social construct because people are just going to keep making.
I mean, I feel like
Yeah.
there's clearly
think that in 200 years, but that's why.
no, but I
say
think
racism.
there's clearly sexual dimorphism.
Yeah.
It's very clear that there's two categories of people. There's a category of people with vaginas and I think it's an XY
Well, this is the thing.
chromosome.
Yeah, I feel like there's a big difference between sex and gender orientation.
Oh, well, yeah,
there's
there's
a big
that.
difference. Your biological sex isn't directly correlated to your gender.
Yeah, but even so, with the sexes, like I feel like people are just making stuff up at this point.
Yeah, no, it's
Like they're just, like how many? I don't know. It's crazy. People are
how many genders are there like to date?
in New York. It depends on the state. Like now they say, let me pull up this graph.
Oh, buzz.
Stop! You're just making buzzing noises now.
No, I hear buzzing.
72 genders.
72 genders?
They say there's 72 genders. Wait, like
I feel like there's just not that many kinds of,
there's a
ways to
gender.
be attracted to
There's
people.
a gender version 1 and a gender version 2. Like it's at some of these are just repetitive. They're just
Can't we just say people like other people and that's all right?
we're not talking about sexual orientation. We're talking about gender entirely.
I know, but that's just I don't know, man. This is crazy.
This
There's no way to keep track. That's why I mean,
butch is just an adjective for a woman who is masculine. That's all butch is. I don't know why that's a gender.
why is that?
That's just an adjective.
that's-
Hi.
Yeah, there's a gender for that. I don't know. This just
If you're watching and you're there,
I thought gender just had to do with what you were sexually attracted to.
no. So you thought I was a different gender this whole time?
No, not a different gender. No, that's not what I meant. Let me rephrase that. I thought gender was specifically like, well, one sexual orientation, right?
One's the gender and sexual orientation is different. You could be a trans woman and be attracted to either men or women.
Yeah.
Did you really think that when? Wait, what do you think happened when a person
This is the
transitioned?
thing is that I kind of just accept what people want to be called. You know, I don't really
But
think
that's-
about it that much. But like, I mean, you're bisexual. So what do you call your? I mean, you're male.
I just like men and women.
You just like men and women.
Yeah, I just like men and women.
So I mean, do you classify yourself as a different gender?
No, because
No,
I'm
you're
a
just- you're
dude.
just a male. All right. Okay.
I mean, sometimes I wish I was a girl, but that's about it.
Okay. Well, there you go. So is there a gender for that though? People
No.
who are males who wish they were a girl.
I guess that's what,
You could. That's what I'm saying is that people could make that.
yeah, but that's
You know?
dysphoria, and that's a mental.
And if you
well,
decided to do that,
well,
I'd be
now,
like, whatever.
Now you're
you
talking
know?
about gender dysphoria, which is actually people say trans people are mentally ill. They're not. People with gender dysphoria are mentally ill. Trans people are not dysphoric because they have bridged the gap between what's in their mind and their bodies, so they're not dysphoric.
So, are you saying before they get a surgery?
Before they get a surgery, a trans person is technically mentally ill.
Whoa.
That's just a fact. I'm not. I know it's controversial, but that's.
I know. Yeah. Well,
But like, if that gap has been bridged for you, then you don't have the mental illness.
huh. Well, I'll just say that it is a very difficult topic.
That's why we're talking about it.
Huh?
That's why we're talking
That's
about
why
it.
we're talking about it. I know. I just think people. I honestly feel that there's a lot more. There's a lot more debate about this than there should be. I think people should just respect and accept what other people decide they are.
Unless what you are is stupid. But wait,
Yeah,
you're not doing this with
unless you're a
transracial.
Republican,
But you're not
you
doing
know,
with transracials, though.
Republicans. Huh?
You're not doing this with transracial people, though.
Transracial. This is the thing: is that transracial is just not the same. I just don't.
You don't
see
think
it
they
as the same
deserve
thing.
respect?
I,
Like you don't acknowledge Martina Big as a black woman?
No, I don't. She's not. She's just not a black woman. And
Even though
I
she
feel
has-
like the whole black community. Is there anyone in the black community who accepts her and says that she's a black person?
I mean, there was a few tweets on Facebook that were like, "Hey, you got curly hair." I mean, the thing is, I don't know. I don't
they're
think.
just not the same, dude. I just don't see them as the same thing. I think they're very different.
Yeah,
I think that.
and also I think a part of this is guided by the fact we are the way our society is structured.
yeah.
Like, I think the vast majority of people are on your side on transracialism. And I think the vast majority of people are also on your side on transgenderism.
yeah.
That people should just be, well, actually, not the vast majority, but a good portion of society.
I guess an urban society. you know?
Yeah, we're around people who are generally speaking accepting of trans people. And
Yeah.
I think most people in our circle would say transracialism is just stupid.
It is. It is stupid. I don't know.
But that's why I think it's important because, like, what identities get to be laughed at and mocked, and what identities don't get to be laughed at and mocked. That's why I think it's important. It's about how we relate to people. You know?
Yeah.
And I don't think.
I mean, look, I'm not gonna hunt down this.
No.
And say you need to die. You're not actually a black.
No,
woman,"
but the
you know?
fact that, like,
I'm gonna let her do her thing. You know, she's whatever she wants.
But would you acknowledge her to her face? Like, if she was in this room right now and she was like, "Do you think I'm a black woman?" What would you say?
Probably no. Honestly, I'll be honest. I'll be like, look, you can believe what you want, but you're just not. I mean,
Right.
I don't know. I feel like, I mean, no. If I'm gonna be honest, I probably would be a little bit more polite. I probably just wouldn't mention it. I just wouldn't talk about it. Maybe she's into like Pokemon. Let's talk about that. You know, I'm not really into.
Wait, what? Wait. All right, that's not a thing. I was looking at the Google images when I Googled 72 genders.
Yeah.
There was a swastika on one of the images. So I was like, wait, is that a thing? It's not. It was a joke. But yeah. So we respect all people of all genders except for people who are butch. If you're butch, you're not a gender. You're not a gender if you're butch. So yeah. Any final words?
I don't know. Live long and prosper.
Yeah, live long and prosper, transform and roll out. And we are ending the broadcast for Spectrum. Bye, guys. See you next week.
See you. Bye-bye.
Wait, let's put on some music. More Dragon Force. Yay.